I risked it all for Xiao Zhan. Wang Yibo's big return to Shanghai. For Xiao Zhan, the untold story behind the reunion that shook the industry. The revelation did not come from a tabloid. It did not leak from a gossip blogger desperate for clicks. It came from a single sentence whispered behind a closed door. A sentence overheard by an assistant who had no intention of becoming a witness to history. A sentence that spread across the industry in the span of 12 hours, stirring a storm so intense it reached fans before anyone could control the fallout. I risked it all for him. The him in that sentence was Xiao Zhan. And the person who said it was Wang Yibo. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. That one line, casual, quiet, spoken in a moment of exhaustion, became the spark that forced the world to confront a reality it had long suspected but never believed would resurface. That beneath years of silence, distance, separate projects, and carefully orchestrated public appearances, the bond between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan had never truly disappeared. It had only gone underground. For years, the two stars had walked separate paths, their careers expanding in different directions, their schedules filled with individual triumphs and private struggles. Their partnership, once so magnetic it became a cultural phenomenon, had faded quietly from public view. Fans carried the memories, but the industry treated their collaboration as a relic of a chapter that was never meant to repeat. Until one night, when Wang Yibo arrived in Shanghai unannounced. The flight landed at an hour when the airport lights glowed like tired lanterns and passengers moved with the slow shuffle of late-night travel. There were no paparazzi. No managers trailing him. No assistants arranging a press route. He wore a plain cap, a simple black jacket, and a look of absolute determination. Anyone watching him that night would not have guessed he was one of the most recognizable faces in modern entertainment. He looked like a man on a mission. And he was. The mission began weeks earlier. Xiao Zhan had been preparing for a major gala performance, one that demanded an emotional intensity he had not attempted in years. The type of performance that required vulnerability, raw expression, and a heart unguarded. But beneath the glamorous surface, insiders whispered that Xiao Zhan was struggling. Pressure from the industry. Expectations from fans. A schedule that allowed no breathing space. And a lingering weight of past controversies he never fully escaped. He hid it well, but those closest to him knew the truth. Someone informed Wang Yibo. No one knows exactly who made that call. Some say it was a stylist. Others claim it was a producer who had once worked closely with both. But the only detail that matters is this. When Wang Yibo heard that Xiao Zhan was reaching a breaking point, he did not hesitate. He cleared his schedule, ignored warnings from his agency, abandoned multiple obligations, and made the decision that shocked everyone who knew the risks attached to such a move. He went to Shanghai. For Xiao Zhan. The industry could not understand the gravity of his decision because the history between the two stars runs deeper than the public ever saw. Their partnership forged in the chaos of overnight fame, the backlash that followed, and the weight of becoming symbols of something far larger than themselves. They had endured together. Fallen apart together. Survived separately. And now, somehow, fate was pulling them back toward the same point. Wang Yibo arrived at the hotel where Xiao Zhan was staying for rehearsals. But what happened next became the most secretive moment of their reunion, known only because one staff member, hidden behind a half-closed door, witnessed it. Xiao Zhan opened the door to his suite. He looked exhausted, his voice hoarse from rehearsals, his shoulders carrying the fatigue of weeks of pressure. But when he saw Wang Yibo standing there, unannounced, unguarded, and clearly determined, something in Xiao Zhan's expression changed. Not shock. Not confusion. Something closer to relief that he tried, but failed, to hide. Wang Yibo did not speak immediately. According to the insider, he stood still for a moment, studying Xiao Zhan as though trying to assess the damage behind his eyes. Then, in a voice so low the witness barely heard it, he said the sentence that would later echo across the entertainment world. "I'm here because you shouldn't go through this alone." Xiao Zhan stepped aside and let him in. That night, the two talked for hours. No cameras. No scripts. No expectations. Just two men reconnecting after years of silence. They spoke about the pressure Xiao Zhan was under. About the fears he never confessed publicly. About his doubts surrounding the upcoming performance. And Wang Yibo, always quiet, always composed, did something no one expected. He placed everything on the line. He told Xiao Zhan that returning publicly, even in the smallest way, could ignite controversy. That his agency would object. That fans would overanalyze every move. That reporters would swarm. But then he said the one thing that made his intentions clear. But I don't care. You matter more than the noise. Those words became the emotional turning point of their reunion. Because for years, the world assumed they had drifted apart. That fame, pressure, and separate successes had dissolved their bond. But in that hotel room, the truth surfaced. Their connection never died. It merely went quiet. The next day, Wang Yibo attended Xiao Zhan's rehearsal. He remained hidden from the public eye, standing behind curtains, watching in silence as Xiao Zhan poured his soul into the performance. And when Xiao Zhan faltered during a particularly emotional segment, struggling to hold a note affected by stress, it was Wang Yibo's voice he heard behind him. Breathe. You've done harder things. That quiet encouragement steadied Xiao Zhan instantly. But the emotional climax came the night of the gala. Thousands filled the venue. Millions watched the live stream. And Xiao Zhan took the stage with a calmness the public had not seen in months. His voice carried strength. His movements carried purpose. And although viewers did not know it, there was a reason for that sudden shift. Row 23. Seat 7. Wang Yibo was sitting there. Unannounced. Unpublicized. Hidden from the spotlight. But present. Present in a way that spoke louder than any press statement or public photo ever could. The moment Xiao Zhan spotted him, briefly, subtly, during a turn in the choreography, his entire expression softened. His voice deepened. His performance transformed. It became the most emotionally powerful appearance of his career. And the world felt it. After the event, the two met again backstage. For a long moment, neither spoke. They simply stood there, absorbing the weight of the evening. Then Xiao Zhan said the words that only two people bound by years of silent loyalty could understand. You didn't have to come. And Wang Yibo replied with the truth that would later become the headline echoing through every corner of the internet. I know. But I risked it all for you. Those words, once whispered privately, now thunder across the entertainment world, stirring every corner of fandom, fueling endless debates, and reigniting a partnership the world thought was long gone. Did Wang Yibo risk his image? His career? His agency's approval? The inevitable backlash? Yes. Yes to all of it. But for him, the calculation was simple. Xiao Zhan was worth the risk. As the dust continues to settle, fans are left with a single, breathtaking realization. Their bond, whatever its true nature may be, is stronger than time, stronger than silence, and stronger than the forces that once pushed them apart. And perhaps the most powerful truth of all is this. When the world wasn't looking, when the cameras were off, when their lives drifted into separate lanes, Wang Yibo made the choice that revealed everything. He chose Xiao Zhan. And the world will be talking about that choice for a very long time.